What is David Criswell up to? When are you going to text that man? What is he thinking about what's going on? Have you asked him? Somebody needs to tag the man. Tag that man. Tag that man. Happy what is it? Thursday, Cameron?
Thursday.
Cameron, are you putting in a full day today? 100%. How many calls did you make yesterday?
Probably around 25.
Damn. Have you slipped?
A little bit.
Why? The heat?
We just got
The heat? Josh, how many calls did your group make yesterday? 100. Is that 2 days in a row? Or 3? 2. Daniel Hodges, what's shaking? Travis, how many calls did you make yesterday?
We made 50.
Who's we?
Me.
Excellent.
53.
53. Congratulations. Hey, I'm thankful you guys are hitting your targets except Cam. Bragging on the dude yesterday. And you know what he does to pay us back? Skips out. Flips me off. Go to hell. Go to hell. That's what he told me. Hello, Remy. Thank you for getting on here. If you're on here, do me the favor. Like, comment, share the stream. You know the drill. We have a special guest in the chair. Who all sits in that chair? It's kind of my chair. We got Austin Kepley in here, the man that's going to bail us out of any foreclosure crises. I've seen some of my friends. What I'm talking about today, I'm going to get right into the show. I'm thankful for y'all, okay? Because I feel like we're going to war in my mind. That's how I'm approaching this. If you're watching the news, if you're watching the TV, if you're listening to people, real estate in a raising rate environment is not it's not the most appealing thing to hear. It's a lot easier to sell things when the rates are cheaper. Would you agree? Now what's going on is we're going to continue to have high prices and we're going to have high rates, which requires a lot more skill, a lot more opportunities. So what I'm telling you guys is, man, you're going to have to expand your pipeline. If you've got 5 people you're depending on to pull the trigger, how many do you need now?
35.
I like what you're saying back there, Travis. You probably need triple, because when things become uncertain, one thing happens in a buyer's mind. If you know my sales process, you know where you fall in the objection quadrant. When things become uncertain, where do people fall? You should know this, dipshit. Why do you not know that? Are you watching me or are you watching the TV?
I'm confused with the question you asked.
Whenever people become uncertain, it becomes an objection. Anytime people do not move forward, it's an objection. There is a reason. There's a problem. Where do they fall in the objection quadrant?
Stall.
He told you. You cheated. You're looking at how did you know it and you didn't? I'm confused.
I wasn't paying attention.
What are you watching? What are you thinking in that bucket?
I was thinking like, yeah, it was pretty easy.
Thinking about rice and chicken, weren't you?
No.
What were you really thinking about? In that moment
You
before...
said something before you started asking that question and had me thinking like, damn, it was pretty hard to sell houses though whenever rates were at 3% because everybody
Was
wanted
it?
to buy a house.
Well, that is one part, yes. But it wasn't easy if there was no other people. I mean, it wasn't hard if there wasn't as many people. The problem that created was so many people you're competing against.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier.
So do you think it'll be easier now or harder now?
Well, it depends on what you're looking at. It'll be easier because you won't be competing against as many people. But the problem you're going to come or deal with now is buyer uncertainty. Why would I pay this rate at this price? I'll wait for it to come down. How are you going to overcome this?
Building relationships.
I could really like you. I could really like you, but just because I like you doesn't mean I'm going to do something I feel like is foolish. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. We're going to have to help them make sense of the decision. Think about this. You've initiated a good defense here, counsel. Whenever I talked about it on the board yesterday. So what came along with those 3.5%, 4% rates?
What came along with
What else?
Unreasonable
So whenever, hold on, you're going there. I'm gonna let Josh talk until he gets stumped. So whenever you're buying something, like you look at the whole deal, before you make sense of buying it. There's a lot of variables that Austin's going to take into account before he can make his decision on this makes sense, I can do this. Don't allow the rate, just a small part of the deal, to dominate their focus. So Josh, tell us whenever you had a 4% rate or someone had a 4% rate. If you're on here, like, comment, and share, please help me out. What were some of the other factors that you had to consider in the whole deal? 4% rates also attracted?
No home sale contingencies.
No home sale contingencies.
No home inspections.
No home inspections.
No appraisal gap coverage.
No appraisal. No appraisal gap coverage. So if you had somebody and they're short and they had to come up with $15,000, that's what this attracted. There's one other big crucial thing.
They offer like $40,000, $50,000 over list price.
Mm-hmm. They also had to pay all their closing costs.
Closing costs too.
$400,000, that's $15,000. There's no concessions being offered. So just understand, if we're looking at the big picture, how much more money are you really spending? Because if that's $30,000 to $40,000 that you've got to bring in those deals. This time, maybe you can get away with only putting 3.5% down, and you can save some money. Back then, you had to unload the old bank account. My wife is on here. Everybody say hello to my wife in the comments. Not in person. She can't hear you. She can only see you. So I was doing this little walk last night. Whenever I walk around my neighborhood, I get inspired. And I was just thinking about, some people might say that maybe I'm overreacting. Some people might say, dude, you're under. You don't even know how bad this is going to get. But here's how I'm approaching what I believe is coming our way. I do not believe home values are going to go down. I do not believe there's going to be a foreclosure crisis. I do not believe that's going to happen. If it did happen, I would find a way to make money there, just like this guy's getting rich. Austin is getting rich. There ain't going to be foreclosures because Austin's going to reach out to them before they go into foreclosure. Excuse me. Good, Gabriel, what's up? The buyer gets the power back. Cecilia, everybody saying hello to my wife. Gabe, we got something coming up for you, I think, at my house. But I made this post, and my buddy said he's waiting on foreclosures. Man, it's hard to get a foreclosure today. There's so many people out there. How many of you are getting phone calls? How many of your people calling me, you think?
Probably none of my people are calling you unless you're not making your payments. But
So you're only, so see, he's got in. Hello, Miss Miller. Thank you for getting on here. And I always appreciate you sharing my stuff. Now, you've got access somehow. Is it public record to the people that are behind?
it's not public record until the foreclosure filing is.
Oh, okay.
But there are data companies that scrub credit report data.
Ah, so you can buy that?
Yeah.
Could I buy that?
Yeah.
Let's buy it.
So let me ask you this. Whenever you're, hey, would you pay our group to do it?
Sure.
Would you?
Yeah.
I don't want to get paid to do it. I want to get paid to do it.
Want to get paid to
You know
do
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah. So my buddy Lex Jennings, he put this comment out. Hey, he's waiting for foreclosures, and I think Lex is like a lot of other people. That's what they think's coming in their mind, a recession. Do you know what a recession is?
No, not the direct definition.
I know. What do you think it means? What do you just think it means?
People are going to be spending less because things are going down.
So you got to know things. The more you know. Do you know what a recession is? You watching TV? What's up there? Is it going to give you the answer? What is a recession to you?
To me, it's when a lot of people are losing jobs.
Oh, see, your brain is taking you to a state of fear.
Like, holy shit.
It's a definition. It's a definition, okay? It's this. It's very simple. If the GDP does not grow, if it retracts for 2 consecutive quarters, it's a recession. You know what? It may not even feel any different to you. It may not look any different, but the media, they could take 2 consecutive GDP-like declines and scare the hell out of people.
We had a recession during COVID.
They do that
Well-
on purpose, though, don't they? So,
Well, they do it to get people on there. We're in a recession right now. We're already there. We're not growing like we were, but how do you feel right now? If I didn't tell you we're in a recession right now, it probably wouldn't affect your state, the way you feel, the way you think, the way you spend. It probably wouldn't do anything. Have you done anything different with your spending? What have you done?
With my spending? No.
Nothing.
Spend more.
You're spending more.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Or what are you doing?
Spending.
See, so these thoughts are put in your head and it affects your behavior. So people think recession, that means foreclosure crises, like 2008. But it's completely different because equity. People, I wouldn't be surprised if half the people in the country right now, their houses have 50% equity. Wouldn't be surprised. Our house, I bought it 2 years ago, put 20% down. We've got at least 50% equity in our house. Most people do if they've owned it for 3 years. How much do you think home prices appreciated in Rutherford County last year?
Probably 25%.
Somebody told me that. 20 something, that's unheard of. That is unheard of, Jish.
Did you see Keeping Current Matters prediction, what they'd go up?
No.
It's like 6%.
For the year, I think it's already gone up more
What
than
their
that.
prediction is, like for the rest of the year,
For our area nationwide.
nationwide.
We'll see, is there one temperature throughout the whole country for the weather?
It's raining over here, it's snowing over here.
The
it's hot
same
over
thing,
here.
the same logic applies with real estate. So there can't be just one thing unless they're doing it from a perspective of nationwide. Our area, it's going to probably continue to appreciate. Next year's going to slow down. Tom, Gavin, how can foreclosures be a factor when home equity values are at some of the highest levels ever? Question for your guests. Well, Tom, maybe I wasn't clear. He said we're not going to have foreclosures because there's too much equity. 2008, y'all, I don't even know if you were born yet. Were you born yet?
I was 7.
You were 7. Okay. So you got a lot of people in here that are underage. That's how we're making it work around here. But back in those days, there weren't these hedge funds that would buy and rent. They opened that up after that. There wasn't as many people that had money. Like, do you go out and raise money to buy stuff? So can you run out of money to buy stuff or...
No, I mean, yes, I guess.
But if you're making money, you can keep going to get money.
Correct.
So what Austin is doing, his secret is this. He's got these people in there. They're probably in another country. Are they local? Can we go over there and actually see them? Are they real?
You can go shake their hand.
We can go shake their hand, high five them. They're calling people where Austin has invested money into them to call these leads where they may be a little behind on their payment. And they're probably not, most of them probably still aren't even going to sell right now, are they? Or would some of them sell?
Some are. Yeah.
Some of them are. Okay, and he says that about 50% of the people they're calling are behind on their payments. Back in the day, we didn't have these aggressive strategies in place because if you were calling up all these people and they were at zero equity, you wouldn't be interested. The reason why he's calling this list is he knows there's some gold there. He knows there's equity. So you can unload your house where in 2009 you couldn't. Like if you bought a house for back then $100,000, you paid $100,000 for it, you financed 100% of it. Then if you had to go sell it, use a realtor, you were upside down by roughly, let's say 6%. Okay, but Austin was saying, well, I'm not going to pay you $106,000 for that house. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll offer you $70,000. And here's what we'll do. We'll negotiate with the banker over there, Josh. We go to Josh and we're like, Josh, this man's about to lose his house. I'll take it off your hands for $70,000. What do you think Josh is going to say?
Yes.
Why would Josh say yes?
Because if not, won't he lose it all versus just getting that 7?
Well, see, the bank, Josh could foreclose on him.
Yeah.
Josh could foreclose on this man. Okay? And then go through the foreclosure process, pay attorneys, go through all the stuff, then put it on the market. But in the meantime, Cam is mad. He's mad at you for some reason. And what does he do to the house?
He's really mad at himself.
He tears the house up. He beats it up. He pisses in the floor. He's got a dog in there. He don't give a damn. Now, Josh has a house because he didn't take my offer. Didn't make sense to him. At the end of the day, you're going to have to take the house over, and you're probably going to walk away with about 70% of it. You're going to walk away with about $70,000 because you gotta go through. The market's going to continue to go down during a foreclosure crisis, and you got to pay attorneys, repairs, time. closing costs on the next deal. So what bankers finally started doing is they would look at those evaluations and say, well, we should have done that. We wisened up. So now the next time it happened, we do it again. Austin brings the same offer to you. And now we go to the bank. It takes them a little while. They fight about it. He talks to her, and they're going back and forth. And now they're like, hey, we'll take your deal. So now we've got a new comp set, $70,000. Now Travis needs to sell his house, and he owes $100,000 on it. Why would somebody pay $100,000 for comps that were 30% less? We're not in that environment. I'm not even going to waste time on that. But people that are saying that probably aren't even really interested in moving right now. They're saying that because they don't want to move. They're justifying their decision. So what I'm telling everybody is I have had it really easy over the last few years. I can come in here and I can sit in this chair and I can say, do this, and you do that, and you do this. And I haven't really had to do any of that stuff. I feel like it's about to change for me. And the reason why I don't like this is because my behavior has to change. It was easy, but I was thinking about this. The longer this is the most crucial thing any of you can take from this conversation. The longer I could sit here for those years and accumulate mileage of doing nothing, the more likely we were to hit a growth, like a ceiling of complexity. Discomfort forces growth. I am now in a state, Daniel Hodges, go Irish. I'm now in a state of not feeling comfortable. I feel like my survival to survive has been threatened. I've been awakened. I am very motivated now. So what that looks like is I've got to start doing more. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I would tell all of you people this. I would much rather be safe than sorry when we get to the other side of this, which will take about 2 years. It's going to take about 2 years because this inflation problem is going to we're going to have to raise rates to slow things down, get inflation. Inflation should be about 2%. It's going to peak at about 10%. And the Fed is full of people, I think, that are like scholars, teachers that don't know shit about like business really. They're classroom experts, but they don't know the way the streets work, Josh, like we do. You know what I'm saying?
Like pimps.
Well, I don't like to use that word around here, Josh. But these people, they think they know in theory what they should be doing, but they really should have already done this, and they're late. And they're going to overcorrect, and we're going to have to find a way to get out of it. I'm saying this, you're going to face 2 years of pain. And then you can come up for air. Von Grafton, shut this show down.